Perhaps she was one of the most cunning minds we have ever known. Perhaps she was a genius. People feared her. People avoided her. People loathed her. Perhaps she was one of the most cunning minds we have ever known. Or, some will say, perhaps she was the most cold-hearted, manipulative witch we have ever known. Welcome to Extraordinary Stories Podcast. Hey, how are you? Are you well? Are you good? I am. First of all, thank you if you listened to the new episode that I put out last night, the B Notes. The first in what will be not a regular episode, but something that I'll put out every 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, where I update you on different stories, and I can do lots of the things that I don't want to take up time at the start of each episode with doing. It's going to be a real mixed bag of things. I'm currently recording this episode in a cheap hotel in Dundee in Scotland, and I've got my microphone set up and I'm under like a duvet. So I'm sitting on the bed with my computer. I've got a duvet over my head. It's about 400 degrees under here, but it's all good. It's been a busy few days at Henderson headquarters, and the only way that I could get an episode done this weekend was to bring all of my equipment to the hotel with me. So yes, here I am. Okay, so murder, death, survival, you bloody know I love those stories. But you also know that I love a story where there is a subject, there is a person who is just a one-off, a real one-off kind of person. Love them, hate them, doesn't really matter. They're just a complete individual. And the lady in this episode, if you don't know her, you're going to love her story. I mean, you don't think you'll love everything about her, but if the word tenacity was ever applicable to a person, it is her. Alright, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, so in 1834, the world was not ready for this birth, but it happened. And in Massachusetts, a young baby girl was born and was given the name Henrietta. Now, Henrietta's full name was Henrietta Howland Robinson. Lovely. So what was Henrietta born into? She was born to parents Edward and Abby. And Edward and Abby, husband and wife, belonged to the richest whaling family in the city. Whaling as in whale hunting, for meat, for oil, for those kinds of things. And her family were big in the game. Her family were huge in the whaling business. They owned the largest of all of the whaling fleets. So now, not a terrible start in life for Henrietta, who was quickly named Hetty when she was very young, and that's how we will know her. We'll know her as Hetty. Now, I'm saying it's not a bad start, but that's if you view things through the lens of money. And well, that is what Hetty's family did. They focused greatly on money and how much of it they could make, how much they could save, how much they owned. This was their obsession. So in her small family, she had a younger brother who died almost immediately after birth, leaving her mother Abby heartbroken by the death of her baby son. Hetty's mother Abby was not a well woman. She was constantly ill, and her immune system, it just wasn't strong. She kind of moved from illness to illness, and if there was ever anything going around, a basic flu, a cold, whatever, it seemed that Hetty's mother Abby would be struck down by it. She was never a healthy woman. So with the death of Hetty's younger brother, no more than a few weeks old, the family consisted of Mother Abby, Father Edward, and of course, the young Hetty. So as Hetty was growing up, 5 years old, 6 years old, her mother's health began to really, really fail. And little Hetty, she was brought up mainly by her father and her grandfather, two men who were very successful in the world of business, and they wanted to teach Hetty early on all about it. They wanted to teach her the ways to manage money, and boy oh boy, they really did. They really, really did. So it's said that at first they would read the stock market reports to a 6-year-old Hetty at the kitchen table, and that over time, as she got a bit older and her reading skills got better, she then took over the role of reading the stock market reports to her father and grandfather. Is that what you want to be reading when you're 7, 8 years old? Is that what you're into at that point? I think you're into My Little Pony and well, I probably didn't have that in the 1830s, but something like that. But no, here's Hetty. She's a 6-year-old who's like, quick, get me the stock reports. That's what I want. Okay, fine. So I'm not sure that Hetty was ever really that close to her mother. Her mother did spend an awful lot of time in bed and a lot of time out of the house, in hospitals. And Hetty actually just became much more comfortable with the company of men. She became so comfortable with her grandfather and her father, and that really suited her. I mean, it's sad really that she never had a relationship with her mum. And really, this is all foreshadowing for what's going to happen to Hetty as the story develops. So, and I love this, at age 14, Hetty became the family bookkeeper. She was responsible for the money coming in and going out of the house. Every penny of it was under 14-year-old Hetty's watchful eye, and she never failed to spot if there was a penny or two out of place. Just imagine 14-year-old Hetty being like, excuse me, father, I think you've overspent on bread by 2 pennies, according to my calculations. Oh man, I need a Hetty in my life to do that for me. Anyway, that's a side note. I mean, it's quite an odd thing, again, to want to do at 14. But I think this was just this thing of her grandfather and her father, I think they saw in Hetty that she had this real desire to manage money. She had this real drive, and she was actually quite good at it. So they pushed, and I don't think that she really knew much else. So probably being the family bookkeeper at 14 wasn't really that weird. Although it sounds weird, but don't think it probably was. At school, Hetty did quite well. Well, now here's the thing. I say she did well. She She succeeded in the areas that she deemed worthy of her time. So, maths, for example, great. She was top of the class. English, meh, not so much. Because she didn't really care. And neither did her family. Hetty was showing signs of real promise with maths and money. And that was really all that mattered. I mean, that's where Hetty and I are going to differ massively. Maths and numbers are not my friend. Give me a creative problem. Give me a language concern. Give me some geographical issue. Fine, I will throw myself into it. Give me maths. No, you can ram it. I am not interested. So, Hetty gets to the age of 19, and it's at this point that her mother's body gives up after the years of battling illness, and sadly, Abby dies. Now, this is where things are going to change massively for Hetty. Still living with her father, Hetty had been left at age 19 a very sizable sum of money by her mother. So, her mother's thinking was, rather than the money go into the family wealth and just be swallowed up within, the whole estate, her mother left the money directly to her daughter, for her and for no one else. Probably quite a smart move by her mother, I'm thinking. I mean, knowing that Hetty was kind of surrounded by men who invested their money in different deals and they took risks, she probably thought, if I leave my daughter some cash of her own, she'll be fine. But sadly, the money that was left to Hetty, it might just have been the very thing which awoke something dark in Hetty, and it set her life on a very peculiar path. She would have been mid-30s. Yeah, mid-30s when she got this money from her mum. And it was the equivalent in today's money of her mother leaving her $250,000. So now, we know she comes from a rich family, but now she has money of her own. And it just so happens that not long after her mother's death, an old aunt in the family died. And she left Hetty, wait until you get this, $600,000. Fuck me. Hetty is loaded. She is worth a bob or two. She's good for a tap if you're skint. So, Hetty has, and this is her money. This is her personal money. So, what's she going to do now? She's in her 30s, she's not married, she's got no kids, and she's fucking loaded. Well, she decides that maybe she should think about marriage. And there had been offers over the years. But here's the thing, Hetty was suspicious of everybody. She believed every man was simply after her money. She didn't believe anyone could really love her for herself. It was all about the money. So she always was guarded. She had this guard up all the time. Men didn't really spend a great deal of time attempting to court Hetty, because she was quite fierce. She was suspicious, and she'd shoot them down in a second. Imagine a night out with Hetty, right? You'd be like, right, Hetty, it's your round at the bar. I'll have a bottle of expensive champagne. I'll have 18 packets of crisps. Right, go. Meanwhile, Hetty's there looking like she's going to kill any man who dares to speak to her. Oh man, she's one tough lady. So she decides, actually, in the end, she's in her mid-30s, and if she's ever going to have a family, she's going to need to find a husband. And so she begins to go a-courting with Edward Green. Now, Edward Green was a wealthy businessman from Vermont. He had his own money. He had millions in the bank. So Hetty did not have to worry that this man was attempting to steal her precious pennies. What that didn't stop her doing was making him sign a legal paper saying that he had no interest in her fortune and that should anything happen, should they divorce, the money remains with her family. And he willingly signed that before they married. I mean, it's really the old version of the prenup. I did not know it existed that long ago, and from some of the research that I did, some biographies of her will tell you that Hetty was actually one of, if not the first person to ever make a prenup happen before marriage. I can't verify that entirely and say she was the first to ever do it, but in terms of signing something, financial before you married, Hetty was right in there at the very beginning. So the couple married and they settled in Manhattan. Hetty had developed herself a bit of a fierce reputation in the world of banking and finance, using her absolutely staggering wealth. She had set herself up as something of a loan shark. For want of a better way to put it, Hetty was essentially operating as a loan shark. So, say there was a company who were in trouble. Say they were about to hit financial ruin. That company would come to Hetty personally and ask for help. And she would give them the money out of her own personal wealth. And then she would get that money back from them with high interest rates. And I mean high interest rates. They paid the price of going to Hetty for money. But here's the thing. She had it in the bank. She had it there. She had it good to go. So if you can imagine if your business is about to go bust, you've got a family to feed, you've got, staff to pay, this is your livelihood, this is everything. You need that money instantly. You don't have time to go to a bank and take out a loan that you're going to pay back over 20 years. You need that money now to fix your problems. And you know what? Hetty knew that. Hetty was way ahead of this. She preyed on the vulnerable. She would say, I'll get you the money today. I will fix this for you today. And people would be so grateful and so happy to have that money. But it was a high price to pay because they ended up paying back so much money to Hetty just for her to be able to save them quickly. And she was cutthroat. I mean, she wasn't fucking about. This was not a woman, there was no, I'm going to loan you money in a nice way. It was, she was not messing about. If anybody ever tried to not pay Hetty everything back that they had promised or that was written in one of her contracts, she had no hesitation in not sending other people to deal with it. She would just go herself. She would undertake ridiculously long journeys across the state just to be sure that she could get every penny back. And if people didn't have that money, Hetty wasn't patient about it. She demanded that the money get back to her. She would let people know, if you can't pay me every penny back, your company is mine. Make no mistake. And although she was wealthy beyond belief, that kind of behaviour will give you an idea of Hetty, and that will help bring her personality and her kind of drive in life into focus for what her life is going to become. Hetty had another wealthy aunt who, when she died, left behind a vast fortune of what would in today's money be 31 million. Oh my god. Insane. So, hearing about the death of her aunt, Hetty gets herself ready to hear How much is she going to get from the dead aunt? How much is she going to get? Well, the answer is not much. Not very much at all. The old aunt had left the money to charity. How did Hetty feel about the fact that the money had been left to charity? Bloody livid. She was raging. She wanted that money. She felt she deserved her old aunt's money. And she was determined that money was going to come to her. And it's such a Hetty kind of move. She just wants it all. She's just determined that she wants every penny for herself. I mean, she's literally going, what's that you say? I'm sorry, money left to charity? Nonsense. I don't care if that's what my old aunt wrote in her will. Nonsense. I want that money. So she goes to court. She battles that when the will was written, her aunt wasn't of sane mind, and there is a mammoth trial. And there's an entire family falling out. Hetty's entire extended family stopped talking to each other over Hetty's behaviour at wanting this money. Hetty doesn't give a fuck. Does not care. She's like, family schmamily. I don't care. Get to, I want that money. In the end, what happens is Hetty walks away with $11 million to add to her own personal fortune. I mean, it's just insane because the money was never meant for her. But because she was so determined and she fought everything tooth and nail, and she would go to court and she would fall out with family members and she would intimidate people, then in the end she walked away with 11 million. By this point, Hetty's now lending to businesses. She's getting them out of trouble. She's also lending to banks when they need it. Banks are coming to Hetty personally and saying, we need this amount of money to cover this particular thing. Can you give us it from your own personal fund? And so this results in Hetty gaining the nickname the Witch of Wall Street. I mean, that's a bit harsh. The Witch. Partly the witch element was because Hetty just didn't have time for people. She was a brisk and orderly businesswoman. So Hetty and her husband Edward, they had 2 children, a boy and a girl. A boy called Edward and a girl called Sylvia. Speaking years later, they will not remember their mother with great fondness. Instead, they refer a lot to the odd behaviours that she displayed when it came to money. And as well as the witch title, she was also developing a reputation as a miser. So there's 2 ways to picture Hetty right now. And one of them is she's a woman of vast fortune. She's living in Manhattan. She's lending money to banks. She knows all the big players in the world of finance. And so she could be living this very lavish life. She could be living this very expensive, happy life. Or the other way to picture her is that actually she has that money in the bank and acts as if she has no money and lives like a poor person. And when I say like a poor person, I mean a very poor person. I don't mean Hetty was just cutting some corners here and there. I'm talking when Hetty gets called a miser about the following things. There was no heating in Hetty's house. It was too expensive. There was no running hot water. It was too pricey. She kept the lights out in the house unless absolutely necessary to put them on. because light bulbs were pricey and she didn't want to pay for them. The family lived on cheap meat pies, and Hetty refused to pay any more for food than she ever had to. It was Hetty's miserness that would eventually break up her marriage. Her husband Edward, he just had enough. He was rich himself. He'd had enough of the fact that she was forcing the family to live like the poorest of the poor. And so he left, leaving Hetty with the 2 kids. Hetty, unfortunately, she didn't learn anything from her husband leaving, and things were only going to get worse. After her husband left, she dressed in a black dress and a coat, which is the outfit that she would wear for almost the rest of her life. She would wash only, I can't believe this, she would wash only the hem of the dress and the jacket, but not the rest of it. That was so that she could save on having to buy soap. So her clothes were never clean. Oh, Hetty, come on. A bar of soap. Jeez, oh. You've got literally millions in the bank. Millions in investments. The banks are coming to you for money, and you won't buy a bar of fucking soap. Okay, so the now witch stroke miser stroke Hetty Meister. She was playing in the big league money-wise. You know those names you always hear, like Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, those that we associate with like American Wall Street. Well, Hetty was a player in that world. And see, the men who ran these operations, they were quite scared of Hetty. I mean, she was quite a formidable woman when she arrived to a meeting. I mean, obviously you'd have to open the window when she came in because she just refused to wash her clothes or to bathe in hot water. But you really had to hold your nerve. She was manipulative and she just was not afraid of anyone. As her 2 children grew up, there's a sort of, I guess, sad mirror image of her own childhood. Her son Edward, who went by the name Ned. Hetty was grooming Ned to take over the fortune one day, but daughter Sylvia, well, she wasn't even really considered by Hetty to be up to much. She took little to do with her daughter. She very much preferenced the male in the family. Both her son and her daughter, when they were adults, they were scared to meet any members of the opposite sex because their mother was once again sure that everyone wanted access to the fortunes of Hetty Green. They didn't. Some people just maybe wanted to go out with Ned or wanted to go out with Sylvia, but Hetty wouldn't allow them anywhere near the family because by now she was quite notorious. She was almost kind of famous slightly, Hetty, and that meant that actually in her mind all you'll attract is people who want my money. I feel really sorry for Hetty's kids. I don't think it can have been easy having her as a mother. I mean, can you imagine being one of her kids and trying to like bring your new boyfriend or girlfriend home? You'd be like, hi, come into my home. Sorry, it's like the Arctic in here and you can't see anything because it's in the darkness. But unfortunately my mother won't buy any light bulbs. If you wish something to eat, it's a simple meat pie or nothing. And here's Hetty, my mother. You could probably already smell her. Oh, so Ned, right, this is tragic. Ned, as a young man, broke his leg. Get this, it's just awful. Hetty refused to pay for any treatment. So instead, she took Ned and his broken leg to a free clinic. The kind of clinic used by the poor, where you would receive treatment, but not necessarily adequate treatment. When his leg didn't heal, Hetty refused to take him back to a doctor and pay for a doctor to look at it. Instead, telling Ned, it'll be fine, it'll heal on its own. Ned's leg didn't heal on its own, and he walked with a limp for a large part of his adult life before having to have his leg amputated at age 40. And all because Hetty wouldn't pay the doctor's bills to get his leg looked at. As the early 1900s started, Hetty was buying up failing railroads and businesses. And when developers would arrive and they would say, okay, I'm going to spend money, I'm going to make this part of America wealthy, I'm going to put some money into it, guess who would be there? Yes, it's Hetty. And they realised that Hetty owned large parts of everything everywhere. She'd put her money into things actually very, very wisely. She put her money into things that other people at the time would have looked down their nose at and thought that's a crazy investment. But she had this kind of foresight. Whether that was something she learned from her father and her grandfather, I don't know. She had this kind of foresight where she was like, I'm going to put money into that failing railroad because in 5 years' time, I'm going to make big on that. And she always did. And so when people got there and they wanted to, buy a whole stretch of land, they discovered she owned parts of it. Now, Hetty was always willing to sell it back, but for a very pretty penny. Another miser fact that I love about Hetty is that she travelled everywhere with a large trunk and suitcases full of all of her legal papers because she didn't want to pay the money to rent an office. So instead, she just carried her papers everywhere she went. Now, there's a really massive sexist thing here, and I hate this, but a lot of people who were dealing with money and business at the time were men. And they hated the fact that a woman was making them hand over their money. It was all that, men, cigars, we know business bollocks. But as we know from a young age, Hetty was treated as one of the boys when it came to money. One of the male investors that she had a run-in with, realising Hetty owned a really large part of what he wanted to buy, he tried to sort of read up to her in a meeting. And this is what she did. As he shouted at her that she was a bad woman and that she was trying to extort money from people, she pulled a gun out of her coat pocket and she said, I'm not afraid to shoot you. I have the money to afford an expensive trial. Do you, mister? At this point, the man ran as fast as he could away from Hetty. So she just continued to earn more and more money. By the age of 60, Hetty was living in and out of lots of different apartments around New York, never staying in any one for too long because she didn't want to get caught paying taxes on any of her properties. So before she had to pay any taxes, she would leave. So both her son, Ned, with his limp, soon-to-be amputated leg, and daughter Sylvia, who she barely had anything to do with, they'd both married. And of course, Hetty had vetted their spouses closely for fear that they were attempting to rob her. But they were now off having their own families. By the age of 70, her children had grown up entirely and Hetty was alone. And descriptions of her at the time say, you would see a shadowy figure in a black coat and dress, with hair unbrushed and the appearance of a homeless woman. Hetty was often seen just wandering up and down the streets of New York on her own. And if a person who knew Hetty stopped to talk to her, she would refuse conversation unless it was business related. By the age of 70, Hetty had developed a hernia and refused to pay the $150 treatment. Now, the result of refusing to pay for that treatment meant that Hetty ended up in a wheelchair. Did this stop Hetty? Did it fuck? By hook or by crook, she would travel in her wheelchair to collect money from anyone who owed it to her. Hetty suffered a series of strokes and again refused to pay for the treatment to help her. Now her kids are begging her at this point. They're like, just pay for the treatment. Just go into a hospital for a short period of time. You can afford this. Hetty could never see that she was going to pay that money. No, for her, no. It was a waste of money. What her son and daughter did manage to convince Hetty to do was to take on some help. And so she took on 2 maids after her second stroke. Very reluctantly, she didn't want to pay them, but she needed help. These 2 maids will say that they argued constantly with Hetty because she just refused to pay for any medication. And as much as they tried and as much as they said, you need this, she just wouldn't pay it. At age 81, in a rented New York apartment, Hetty Green died. She died of an apoplexy caused by the complication of the strokes that she'd had. And at the time, the understanding of strokes had a long way to go. It still does, but it has a long way to go. But doctors believed, they really believed that a healthy diet could help. We see a lot of that now about, healthy life can sort of ward off strokes and things. And so her maids, they were begging her. They were saying to her, look, let's just make the odd change. Let's do things like, we're just going to get you full fat milk rather than skimmed milk. But, just because doctors are saying drinking full fat milk's good for your bones, it's good for your body, it can help you. But no, it cost 2 cents more than the skimmed milk, so Hetty wouldn't buy it. When she died, Hetty Green was worth $3 billion. She was, for years, the richest woman in America. Hetty died wearing the same dress that she had worn for years. The same coat. She died still refusing to pay for heating or hot water. After her death, her estate was divided up between son Ned with his one leg and her daughter Sylvia. And the 2 of them, they enjoyed her fortune way more than she ever did in her life. Hetty was buried alongside her mother and her father. So Hetty's money over the years has passed down through the generations. And in recent years, a large amount of it has gone to charity. And we all know how Hetty would have felt about that. So, the Witch of Wall Street, the world's biggest miser, or just Hetty Green. And so ends the story. Okay. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. I just can't get my head around this divorce that she has in her mind between the money that she has and the money that she obviously felt wasn't hers in her life. So, you know, there's just things like having that many millions in the bank and just not spending money on soap. I just don't, you know, it's just such a... And yeah, I mean, of course, I know there was obviously some sort of mental health issue probably there with Hetty that had gone undiagnosed. But, you know, I think the mental health thing is like, yeah, there probably was something there, but I also just think she just had an attitude towards money. She had a real, she had this sort of fierce feeling about what money was for. It clearly, for Hetty, clearly money was not for spending. It was not for joy. It was for building upon. It was for making more of, is what it was. And whether that happened as a result of the fact that at a young age she was brought up by two businessmen, I don't know. But yes, anyway, that's the story of Hetty. So that's about it, really. I'll be back with an episode in the middle of the week. If you want to get in touch, you can. Please join the Facebook group. Please like the Facebook page. Leave me a review on iTunes if you can. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, and a big thanks to everybody who's getting in touch all the time. Please know I see every message, every tweet, every comment, every email. I'm all over it. I'm looking at them all the time, okay? When I'm not working and staying in cheap hotels. So I'm going to go now and enjoy my cheap hotel bed. Okay, goodbye.
It didn't affect me really one way or the other. I would imagine from the look on his face, let's get it on, let's do it, let's get it over. Let's get it on, let's do it, let's get it over.